Oh, hello, hello, and happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope you're all having a fabulous day. It's a very beautiful day up here in my palatial estate in Collingwood. So I hope it's a beautiful day wherever all of you are as well in the world. Oh, am I live? Let me see. I want to make sure I'm live.
Oh,
Yes,
am I live?
there we are. Okay, fantastic. I'm always double checking volume, of course. So make sure, yes. You know, I'm going live at the Janome Sewing Machines Facebook page, the Janome Canada Facebook page, the Janome HQ YouTube channel, and the Janome America YouTube channel. There's always a delay on Facebook. I don't seem to be live on the Janome Sewing Machines page. I'll just refresh my browser. There I am. Okay. I just want to double check because then I know everybody gets so excited for the lives. And then if we're not right there, that's why I tried to join a little early. If we're not right there, then people are wondering, hey, is there a live? What's going on? Oh, hello, Carol. And yes, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. Yes, it's wonderful to see you all. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining me today. My name is Michael Smith, the National Education Manager of Janome Canada. And yes, I'm back live in the Janome Sewing Machines Facebook page to share more of the Janome love. You know, now that it is March and it is such a beautiful day here. Oh, and my sister Deb is here. Hello, hello. It's a beautiful day here at my palatial estate in Collingwood. No matter where you are, again, let's just stay inside and sew. But again, it's wonderful. It's like spring is in the air. And of course, in March, there's many exciting things. Yes, spring being one of them. But, you know, St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner. So I thought, what a cute little project to share with you all today, regardless of which machine you have. Something that we could do with the built-in stitches of our machine, but you know, we can always do more with Janome. So let's flip around here to share my camera. Today I am on the fabulous, yes, Janome Skyline S7AE Anniversary Edition with that beautiful midnight blue accent. And yes, the project I'm making here, you can see, look how addictive they are. You know, if we're, no matter what kind of sewing you are, you do, no matter what kind of sewist you are, pin cushions, we can never have enough of them. Now, you know, Janome's got these fabulous magnetic pin cushions, but instead of using this magnetic pin cushion for pins, I love using it with my magnetic tools, like my screwdriver and my seam ripper and all of that. So that I keep next to my machine. But pins, every once in a while, yes, we need pins. So what a cute little pin cushion. And you can see we can customize. This one says Happy Spring with the fonts built into my Skyline S7, or again, any machine you have. Happy Spring with some of the cute little stars, or again, the flowers, the tulips in particular. When we start thinking of spring, color coordinate it with your yellow beautiful embroidery thread. How about some yellow lemon flavored pins? So these cute little pin cushions. Now I made mine out of felt, but you can make it out of regular fabric. This one, I thought I couldn't find a midnight blue thread color, so at least this is kind of a tealy blue to somewhat, you know, coordinate with my Skyline S7 here. But even the utility stitches built into our machines can decorate the pin cushion. In this case, again, it's on felt, so we don't have to worry about, you know, ravelly fabric. But it's cute to use some of the stitches built into our machine. And then since, again, I'm not always using pins, oh, we can use one just for, these are our hand sewing needles. Or how about we put a pin in which I clip my, you know, Wonder clips, or any kind of your clips. Wonder clip, I think, is a registered trademark these days. But any of your clips, then I just put a pin in here to clip the clip around. So these pin cushions, and now this just sits beautifully next to, and it fits perfectly right here next to my knee lifter of my Skyline S7AE, room for my mini duckbill scissors, which I cannot sew without. So that just fits in perfectly. Or then again, yes, for St. Patrick's Day, or ultimately you can customize these to any special occasion, but St. Patrick's Day, do you know a special Irish person in your life? This is a great gift idea too. So here there is a 3-leaf clover built into the Skyline S7AE. So I thought that would be cute, again in green thread. Now this, I had the luck of the, and then it just keeps running on, luck of the Irish. Or again, use some of the decorative stitches. How about the sewing theme? Again, maybe this is a gift for your sewist friend who was Irish, but also is sewing. So there's the spool of thread, the needle, or again, like 4-leaf clover. I was trying to think of other, Irish kind of sayings, or again, the fonts, decorative stitches, stitch sweet love is what I always say. There you can see my bit of hand sewing. This cute little, again, kiss me, I'm Irish, and again, hearts, and again, or there, the Irish rose is what I was thinking of. So many wonderful decorative stitches and fonts already built into our machine. Now, this is the pin cushion, the way it was written with the elastic strap that will go around your machine. And where did I find this adorable pin cushion? Because you have one at every machine. You have one at your cutting table, your pressing table, or again, a great gift idea. Where did I find this? It's a free project created by the fabulous Miriam Coffey from Janome America. So it is a continental pin cushion, and you'll see Miriam use this cute scissor fabric. And again, I used felt so I could do decorative stitches in the machine. Now you'll see on the Continental M7 in this case, it's got like this little ledge of the machine. So, oh, Kimberly Imo, hello. Janome America's national spokeswoman. I'm sure you all know her. Wonderful to see you. Yes, the Continental machines, again, they have this little lip at the front. So Miriam created this little pin cushion with the elastic straps that'll go around the bed of the machine, like the body of the machine. So in the Continental machines, or really any machines, again, this elastic strap goes around the body of the machine like that. So it holds the pin cushion out there. Now, again, in the Continental machines, there's a little ledge here. So this pin cushion would sit there. But even without having that ledge and this elastic strap, it'll go around whatever your machine, it'll go around the body of your machine. You just can customize this elastic strap, the length of the elastic strap. Now, in Miriam's instructions, she said using snaps, but instead I didn't have any. I thought, oh, well, I have a buttonhole foot, automatic buttonhole foot included with my Skyline S7, and I have a button sewing foot included with my Skyline S7 AE. So I decided to make a buttonhole and stitch on a button in my elastic, which then again can go around the bed of the machine. So your pin cushion stays here handy. Again, you can elect to do it without. This one, I did no elastic. You see the side seams, little box corners. So it just sits like a little bench there. So I did one without elastic straps. Or I thought, here, many of our machines have this extension table. So maybe we could wrap the elastic instead of around the machine. How about we wrap the elastic around the legs of our extension table? And then again, you could use snaps or even some hook and loop tape, some Velcro. Or then here, I would just cut this elastic smaller so it's taut. And then this way, I could use the pins, the pin cushion, but it stays kind of under my table. So that way, when we're sewing, we're not, dragging this pin cushion anywhere. It's kind of protected this way. So I thought that would work really cool. So you could adapt this pin cushion for any machine, really, any configuration. So that's mainly what I love sharing with everyone. You don't always have to get hung up on, oh, but I don't have a continental machine. The instructions say I must have it. No, you can adapt it to any use. Again, full instructions here, full instructions, step by steps, how to box the corners, everything here. And there again, a cute little close-up where you can see it's elastic around the machine. Where do I find that? You go on Janome.com and you go to the Create and Learn tab. Oh, there's the fabulous Kimberly Imo. You go to the Projects tab and then you type in, what am I looking for? And you type in pin cushion. And then boom, up comes the pin cushion, Continental pin cushion. Here it is. And again, download project, full instructions. There's a close-up, again, pinned around the Continental machines, but the elastic strap, you could cut it to any size. Oh, Kimberly says this is a fantastic and fast project. It really is. Again, they're so addictive, you can see. For our Canadian audience, which we know follows Janome America as well, you can go to, and yes, we've got Liz from the UK here as well. We go to the Inspire tab. Our website is still in the works. We're getting a new site to follow Janome Americas, basically. But again, all projects under the Inspire tab, and we type in pin cushion, and you'll see there it is. So full instructions we can get on Janome.com or Janome.CA to download and read through in a whirlwind of information. I will go through and say, oh yes, that you take your, in this case, it is a 6 by 7 inch, 6 inch by 7 inch piece of fabric. And what I did was use felt, and they say to use batting at the back, and I didn't have a piece big enough to fit my square. So, you know, batting, you can just kind of tug it. Don't get hung up on if it's not the exact size. You can just kind of tug the batting. In this case, it was a 6 inch square, but oh, look at that. I was able to make it 7 inches just by giving it a little tug, and it fit beautifully. And again, it's only for a pin cushion, so it worked fine. But because, you know, as I was decorating this, and I thought, well, depending on how I put this pin cushion, if it's like this, you know, the writing is up. If I were to set the pin cushion like this on my table, again, the writing is up. But then, you know, on this part, as I go around, the writing's going to be like down. If I turned the pin cushion this way, the writing is down. It's wrapped around. Not a big deal. That side's going to be against the machine. But I thought, oh, per the instructions, we're going to fold this in half and then stitch down this long side and stitch up the short sides. But before I decorate all my fabric, what I decided, since we're going to fold this in half, first I went down with my Hera marker, or you use any sort of marking tool, and I did a center line 3 inches up, and then I did 1 inch up from that, and then 1 inch down from that, to create these registration lines. And what I love about these Hera markers, double check with your Janome dealer to see what kind of marking tools they have. It doesn't leave a permanent mark on your project, but you see that groove. So when we fold this in half to sew this long seam, and we leave an opening so we can turn it right side out, and then we will, once we do that seam, instead of just sewing this up, instead, we end up folding it down like that after the seam is sewn. Then we'll sew across here. So that's why I did these 1 inch registration marks on either side, because basically when the pin cushion is all constructed, it's going to sit kind of like that. It's about just a little shy of 2 inches thick. So that's where that registration mark, this would be my halfway point. There would be my first registration mark and my second registration mark. And I did that only because I was thinking if I did half the pin cushion with the fonts and the stitches going up, and the other half of the pin cushion with the fonts going down, then we could, depending on how we place this pin cushion, this way the fonts are reading the correct way. You know, you just do a few of them and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. So if it matters, and again, this is such a freeing, I'm tethered. This is such a freeing project. It really doesn't matter. However you choose to stitch it is fine. And again, you'll see some beautiful decorative stitches built into our machines. We're using the F2 foot, the open toe satin stitch foot, or the F foot that I have on my machine here. It's got the groove on the underside for all those decorative stitches. A great time, rows and rows and rows of decorative stitches. As I've done in previous live, rows and rows of decorative stitches. This is where we can use that fabulous optional border guide foot, and we follow these lines. Again, the red registration marks of our foot, we follow them along our line of stitching, previous line of stitching, so we don't have to mark our fabric at all. You can go back to previous lives here on the Facebook pages, or again on YouTube in the respective YouTube channels, Janome Life blog, lots about the border guide foot. And the wonderful thing, it comes in 7mm and 9mm, so many machines can use it. For rows and rows of decorative stitches as well, do you know these wonderful quilting guide bars, we can use them with our even feed foot or AccuFeed Flex foot. But here I'm using the regular foot holder, and we can insert this quilting guide bar in our foot holder. And again, the previous line of stitching, I can line up with my guide bar, and I don't have to mark my fabric at all. So that's another way that where we can mark the fabric, line up our stitching without having to, physically mark the fabric with, chalk or a erasable pen. So yes, I need to finish threading my machine, I see. Let me lock it. Use my fabulous needle threader, and there we go with our new improved thread guide number 7 here, and even a diagram for the Skyliner 7 AE here. This improved thread guide number 7 and this wonderful cheat sheet diagram. My needle threader, I did it live on air. It works beautifully. So here I've already done my little crease mark. I'm going to create another line of stitching. Oh yes, we can go into the fonts of our machine, go into our decorative stitches here, and see what sort of decorative stitches you have built in. Again, here I had that 3-leaf clover that I stitched out. So no matter what you want to do, again, if you were doing this more spring, again, look at those adorable tulips. Or again, we go into the fonts, the A for ABC for all of our fonts built into our machine. I liked using that 9mm block. So we can say, again, the luck of the Irish, and do whatever sort of small, medium, large spacing. It's just so fun. So again, I could just do luck of the Irish as I did there, luck of the Irish, and just stitch out whatever I want. When I finish my line of stitching, kiss me, I'm Irish, I just raised my presser foot, just did an arbitrary space, and continued stitching. Now, some of this stitching is, again, going to go off into our corners, and that's fine. This is not meant to be a song sheet or anything. So it's fine. People can understand, sort of, they see of the Irish, oh, luck of the Irish. And again, kiss me, I'm Irish. I was trying the different fonts. This is a great time to, again, we've got 5 different fonts built into the Skyliner 7 AE. You try them out and see which ones you like best. But very quickly, I wanted to show, well, what about a 4-leaf clover? As I have on this sample, you'll see this is a very small 4-leaf clover, a very small 4-leaf clover. That's a little bigger 4-leaf clover. One isn't built into my machine. Oh, not a problem. We go to, whenever we need more stitches, So many of our machines already come with a lot, but if we want even more, let me raise up this very quickly. If we want more stitches, so something like this 4-leaf clover for St. Patrick's Day, how about we go to the fabulous Stitch Composer software, which is a Windows-based software. Now, if you have a Mac, you can separate your hard drive so you can run both operating systems, or many of our Mac owners say they just use an inexpensive laptop that they just use for these Windows-based programs. Whether or not Janome's ever going to adapt this to Mac, I'm not sure. So for now, it's a Windows-based Stitch Composer, is a Windows-based operating system available by digital download now. Older machines came with a CD that we would put into our computer, but now if you have a newer machine like Skyline S7AE, it comes with Stitch Composer. There is a digital download, a QR code in the manual, so you can download it. Very important, in all of our Janome software, this little blue question mark up to the right is your friend. That is your instruction manual. Boom. Built-in help right there. So that's the first thing you're going to do. Now, again, we've done many videos of Stitch Composer and many blog posts of Stitch Composer. So this is just a quick whirlwind. When you want to create new stitches, Stitch Composer allows you to do that. And it's very helpful. You don't have to worry about being an artist. For example, you just type in 4-leaf clover, and here was free clip art available on the internet. So I downloaded this picture to my computer, and in the View tab that's up at the top, it asks us for a backdrop image. So this is where on your computer you can bring in a photo, maybe some child's artwork, or I'm just going to drag this over a little bit here, and then I'm just going to drag this down and make it bigger. Because as I found when I was doing this first, my stitches were so small there. They were so small. You can't really see that 4-leaf clover. That looks more like a 4-leaf clover. The Stitch Composer, I find people do it too small. So go ahead, do it big. You don't want to do it too big like basting stitches. You just play an experiment. But again, bring in your child's artwork, bring in your clip art. We can make it transparent, so it's just like more of a shadow. So then when I lock it in place, now I can go in and you'll see this is my stitch width. I have a 9mm machine, so 0, and then I have 4.5 this way and 4.5 that way. So 9mm total is how my stitch is going to be created. So we just go click, click, click. Again, there are some instructions on our various websites on various machines, like, oh, even the 15,000 Skyline S9, I think, has a Stitch Composer lesson. Lots of Janome Life blogs, videos on the Janome America YouTube, Janome HQ YouTube. And again, I'm going very quickly since this lesson isn't entirely about Stitch Composer, but it's just to whet your appetite to say, look how quick it is. I'm just digitizing, basically. Now, for those who have Artistic Digitizer, this will be very similar to you. Again, we're not doing embroidery, we're doing regular sewing. So there, and we just do click, 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 click. So I'm following my 4-leaf clover, lock, oop, end. There's even a simulator built into the program. I hope you can all see. It may be hard with the lighting. Do you see? There's my little 4-leaf clover stitching out, so I can see the distance between the 4-leaf clover. I can customize it however I want. It is such a fun program. So for our St. Patrick's Day pin cushion, we can create, if our machine does not have a 4-leaf clover, we can create one with Stitch Composer that comes with a number of machines. Now we have a lucky offers promotion right now for St. Patrick's Day for the month of October, or the month of March. So make sure that you double check with your Janome dealer what offers they have right now. Like most of our other programs, when I'm done my design, what am I going to do? Write a design. This is just like Embroidery Editor, which I've gone over. The same thing, just like AccuStitch software, we're going to write a design, we're going to put it onto our USB stick. But instead of embroidery, this time we're going to put it in our ORD folder, our ordinary sewing folder. Now we can put it into that subfolder of ORDF, oops, ORDF, or we can, there we go, or we can just save it into that folder. I have another design there. Again, we can rename this whatever we want, and then make sure that we press that arrow to send it over. Once it's on the USB stick, I'm going to safely remove my hardware so then I don't have any issues. I unplug my USB stick and then bring it back to my machine. Ooh, very quickly, bring it back to my machine. There we go. And then, oops, I'm tethered again. Oh, geez, I'm so sorry for the shaky camera work. So once I am there, then I bring my file folder. Let me get rid of all of this. I don't want any of that. Then I need the file folder out. So where was that stitch? It is on my USB flash drive. And then where did I put it? I put it in my ordinary folder. Or again, let's remember the up arrow, that if you didn't save something into a folder, it might be on another screen. In this case, I know I saved my design in that ORDF folder. There is my large 4-leaf clover. So then when I go to stitch it out, the same name, oh, because I already did it. That's why. But oops, I don't want to do that. So when I do it, I have it in my, it wanted me to save it because I didn't save it already. So then there, because I already had one in my machine, but then you can stitch it out directly. Just make sure you save it. I had done all the steps and I figured I won't save it because I already had, but it's already overwritten in my USB flash drive. So make sure that you save it. So it will then stitch out in your machine. So this is how we can totally customize our fabulous pin cushion here, again, with the built-in fonts of our machine, with the decorative stitches built into our machine, or again, where the Stitch Composer, this is what it ends up. We can use clip art, again, free clip art that we get from the internet. And again, this is what we can print out a page here of our 4-leaf clover. And this is what it looks like. Again, there's the 0 center needle position, and then we have 4.5 here and 4.5 here. So there's our 9mm wide. So by this one, I can see was my small version. It's too small. Then it's stitched out. Again, in this case, it's stitched out too small. So that's where I went back in and I redid it. I blew it up on my screen, as you saw, and then I did it bigger so it's stitched out a little better. So much fun that you can do. Again, you can totally customize and add a buttonhole if you want, or again, a snap, or you don't have to use the elastic at all. And again, this pin cushion, I just decorated with the utility stitches of my machine. It just sits right there. No problem. So it's a really, really fun project to make. In this case, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, or again, give it as a gift. And again, it is a free project, the Continental Pin Cushion, but again, it does not have to be a Continental machine. So free pin cushion on Janome.com and Janome.CA. So as usual, things went by so fast. But there, in a whirlwind, is a little about the fabulous Stitch Composer software. Again, it comes with so many of our typically, mid-range to higher-end machine. So fun. And again, lots of videos on the respective YouTube channels and lots of blogs on Janome Life blog. So you can have a lot of fun getting more from your machine. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you so much, Linda. It is great to see you all here. I hope you're all having a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.